Hi, it's Jane with SewScraptastic, and today my husband has asked me to make him a bag that will fit what he wants to hold into it. Now, when he was in the hospital, they sent him home with one of these little bags, and it carries everything okay, with the exception of it's really not wide enough this way across here for the pillow that he uses. He doesn't use the pillow all the time, but sometimes he needs to use the pillow when it's a hard surface or he has to sit a long time waiting till he gets into the back for treatment. So I measured the pillow, and the pillow measures 17 inches across, so I need to make this 17 inches, and he wanted it to be a little bit taller, like about 2 inches, and this is actually 15 inches, so I'm going to raise that up by 2 inches to 17 inches, and then we're going to do the side panels basically the same way. They'll just be a little wider, at the bottom. And then on the bottom of the bag, he wants it to be a semi-hard bottom. He doesn't want it soft. I am going to use Pillon. I'm having trouble remembering what it is. Like Thermolam, Fusible Thermolam, or Fusible brain fart. It's going to be one of those days. So anyway, what I have determined is I've figured out the dimensions of the bag that I need. Like I said, it's 17 inches wide finished by 17 inches tall. So I am going to cut for the front and the back 18 inches by 18 inches. And that should give me finish size approximately what he wants. It may be a little bit bigger, depending on if I wind up doing a 1/2 inch seam allowance or 5/8 seam allowance. It'll be a little iffy there, but it should give him a little bit more room for that pillow to slide in. And then side panels measured 9.5 by 17 tall, so I'm going to cut those 10.5 by 18. And the very bottom was 9.5 by 17, so I'm going to cut that. I'm going to use some Decovil Lite, and this is some that I got when Joann's had it on sale. I want to say it was like $13 for this. And if you know anything about Decovil Lite, it is expensive. Very expensive. So, when I saw this, I scooped up all that I could for that cheaper price. Because, yeah, great way to save money. So I'm going to cut 2 bottom panels. Actually, I'm going to cut these 9.5 by 17 so that I will have 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around. But there will be 2 layers on the bottom to give it the little bit of firmness that he wants. And then the batting is this Pillon type that has just a little bit of padding, because he doesn't really want it with a lot of padding. It has the Fusible on one side, Fusible Fleece. That's what I was thinking of. Couldn't think of the name. So I'm going to cut panels for that to kind of soften it around the edges. And the handles, I am basically going to use probably strips of fabric that are have the Fusible Fleece on the center and sewn, and I will put those in between. I'm going to use a drop-in lining, and on the lining he wants 2 pockets on each side so that he can put his wallet and other things in it when he needs to carry that kind of thing. So that's basically what I'm going to do. And the straps, I believe they were like 22 inches from one side to the other side. So I'm going to cut them probably 24, 25, give myself a little bit of extra room, and make him some straps for that. So I am going to start that process of cutting it, and the fabric that I have chosen for this is the Mandalorian. This is the Way fabric. He likes the fabric, so that's what I'm going to make. And the inner is going to be a kind of grayish color. More like this dark gray that's in here. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to take you along with that. Basically today I'm going to do some cutting for that. Cutting for some of the diaper bags that Rose is looking for next month. So I'm going to cut a couple of diaper bags. I don't know which fabric I'm going to use for those, so I need to go through and find some fabric for that and for the linings. And it also uses the Fusible Fleece in between, and it's like a messenger bag, but it is a diaper bag. Since she had crocheted the messenger bag type, I thought I would just continue with that, and so I'll make a couple of diaper bags in that. But that is what I'm up to today for SewScraptastic. And so the only other thing I wanted to show you is I had ordered some fabric from Cheryl Bolt's bags and fabric for a little group, and it came in yesterday. And look at that, is that not gorgeous? With the gnomes and the peeking out of the blooms. So I'll be cutting a couple of bags to go in the shop with that a little bit later today after I get this other started. So that's it for right now. I'm going to change the angle of the camera so that you can see what I'm cutting and how I'm cutting. And then tomorrow I will do the actual sewing of the bag. And we'll just kind of go from there, see how it goes. And that's basically it for now. So I'll see you in a few minutes. If I can get it to stop. So I'm ready to cut my fabric, and I'm going to go ahead and straighten up the ends. And yes, I am going to use the fold. Now that's a trash because there's nothing else I can do with that. Now, my measurement for my tote, I need to cut it 18 by 18, 2 on the front. So I am going to move this, and I do line it up with that line there, line it up on the top, as best you can. And then because I've got it at 20, I'm going to cut at 2. So I'm going to make that cut. You're not going to see it. It's going to be off screen. Little edge there that was a little stubborn. So then I turn my fabric, and what I do there is just line that up as best as possible so that it looks like it's a straight fold. And yes, I have ironed it. Now I'm going to straighten up, take off the selvage. And you know, there's an old saying, measure twice, cut once. And many of us will do that 3 and 4 times. And then once again, now I'm going to scooch over a little bit. And once again, I'm going to take my fabric down to the 20 mark here and the 2 here. And make my next cut. And there's the front and back panel. So now I will do this for the sides and the bottom. I'm not going to show you all the rest of the cutting. You know, it's kind of boring. And then I will fuse those things to the outer part of the bag. And then I will fuse the Decovil. And when you're fusing Decovil to a bag, you really want to use a pressing cloth. So any pressing cloth works fine. And when I do fuse the Fusible Fleece, generally what I do is I'll take my cut pieces, line them up so that I have my sewing line, the seam line, out of the way. Get them nice and lined up, then I will flip it over. I'll have it on the wrong sides when I do it. And I'll put my fleece down and get it measured where it's, you know, within this line and that line. And then I will flip it over together in one piece. And I will actually spritz the top part with water and then fuse. And that works out fine. So that is the beginning of the bag. And later on this week I will show you the sewing of the bag and of course the finished project, because I am going to be cutting a lot more bags. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this little short video, and I will see you again soon. Bye.